afternoon. Yeah, this is well, don't really need to say what this is. Well, it's a pickups video. Obviously, um, I wasn't actually gonna do a pickups video as my next video. I've invented a pastime called urban hiking, which is basically walking miles around loads of charity shops. Um, and I've been doing that for like the last month or so, and it's proved to be quite fruitful. So I thought, I know, I'll take my camera out. Basically, I'm just walking around charity shops, but going really far because what it is on Computer Exchange. If you're just sort of like browsing and it shows you, um, like all the different branches. I think on the desktop version, if you're signed in, and you've put in your postcode, it would tell you where the nearest branch is and how far it is away in miles. And I was looking one day and I thought, hang on, that branch is nearer than the one I've walked to loads of times. So maybe I can walk to that one as well, and I can walk to a load of others because there was one I used to walk to. It's closed now. It's my favourite one. It's one I used to take my trays to. Gutting. It was a corporate one, and it was like always really quiet, and that's why I liked it. But then it closed, obviously, because probably wasn't viable. But that was sort of relatively far, about 3.5 miles or something, and I could walk there, like just for the exercise basically, and then go around the charity shop at the same time. But then I saw there were other branches nearer. I can walk to those as well, and somehow if I can create like a loop, I can turn it into like a whole thing, and then I invented urban hiking. I take my rucksack, and then look like basically because I don't live anywhere near sort of rural. I do sort of, but not like anywhere I could walk to because I can't walk over farmland, so I get chased off by a man on a quad bike. But yeah, so I invented urban hiking, and a lot of this stuff is from my urban hikes, and it's actually turned out to be quite fruitful. So I was going to take you along on my last one. I've got my SD card, like an idiot. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. Before I start, I just want to feel like I need to thank people who regularly watch my videos because obviously my videos last fucking ages, and so hang on, wait there. I thought I forgot something. I haven't. Anyway, my videos last ages. Obviously, everyone's sort of used to that, right? And so, like the last one was over an hour. That's a proper time investment. I know if there's a video I want to watch that's over an hour, I actually have to make time to watch it, and I watch it in chunks. And so, obviously, that's not really any different for people watching my videos. So, I just want to thank people who actually sit through them because, like I said, it's a proper time investment. You have to sit down and really, find time to do it. So, I just feel the need to thank people because, let's face it, I ain't ever going to get any shorter. I mean, it's my ambition to make a nice, snappy 10-minute pickups video. That's just not happening. I mean, I've been doing this since 2010, and I almost miss the days when you could only make 15-minute videos. Do you remember those days? Maybe I should get onto YouTube and ask them to reintroduce that 15-minute limit. But yeah, so I've been urban hiking. Been doing all right. I'm also making this video now because my fucking neighbours. I've been really trying not to moan about them in recent videos, but I fucking hate them. It's getting to the point I'm going to snap. Genuinely, I'm not a snapper. I'm not someone. I don't think I've ever snapped. I snapped once. I threw my shoe through my girlfriend's closed bedroom window, which I won't go into. Maybe in the future, probably not. But anyway, that's probably the last time I snapped, and that was back in like 2000 or something. I haven't snapped since. Yeah. Tubby is a fucking really irritating face. He's a little fat bastard. He's got himself a set of drums. And he's been playing them on and off for a couple of months. I think they got married. And I suspect he was given them as a wedding present. But if you think about it, what a shit wedding present, because it's basically like, here's something that means you don't have to spend time with your new wife. But anyway, because it basically, he'd been playing a set of drums ever since they got married about a month or so ago. So I felt the need to adjust the lighting. Anyway, yeah, he's been playing these drums ever since they got married, like a month or so ago. And the earliest he started is like 7:30 in the morning. Words were had about that, and he genuinely, I don't know how this can, how anyone can ever come to this conclusion. He genuinely didn't think it'd be a problem, or that he just thought, oh, really? Oh. And then he said he's bought these things that mean that they'll sort of dampen the noise, so they shouldn't be much of a problem, but it's still fucking a problem. You see, I'm getting worked up. So he stopped doing it at 7:30 in the morning, and then it's basically any time of day with, and it'll be like, I'll be sitting here on the computer trying to concentrate, do something quiet, and then I'll hear and he even told me that his kid's in a youth orchestra and he's learning drums as well. Oh, Jesus. I'm not sure the kid's quite into it as much as he is, but still. And I think they've gone on holiday. I think the day or so before he went on holiday, I think he wanted to get a bit of it out of his system, and it went on till like 12 at night. And I swear I'm going to snap. So keep an eye out for the news about a man who gets inserted into his own drums, or his drums get inserted into him, because that'll be me. I'll be the perp, and I'll quite happily do it. Words might need to be had in the future, but I think it's got to the point now. I don't think it's ever going to be polite. If I ever end up having to go around there, it's going to start a Barney. I mean, what arrogant arse thinks it's all right to play the drums, like it's a semi-detached house. Semi-detached house, like they moved in like a year and 2 years ago. They did it up because it was like derelict, basically. They did it up, moved in. I mean, you probably spent a fortune on that. You could have bought yourself a detached house, and then not. So basically, by buying this house, knowing you're going to be playing the drums, you've basically conceded you're going to piss your neighbours off. And he's been pissing me off ever since they moved in. They all have. Anyway, that's enough of that. Look out on the news. Anyway, yeah. Also, yeah, I think I've got food poisoning at the moment, so there's a nice extra bit of jeopardy. They might come back anytime soon, so that's a bit of jeopardy. And also, I suspect I've got food poisoning, so I might shit myself at any time. So that's a nice bit of jeopardy, extra jeopardy. I mean, that's original. I bet no one's ever said they've shat themselves during a pickups video. I mean, we all strive for a bit of originality, and I think, that would be original, if anything. Right, anyway, lots of stuff. I've got a fuck ton of stuff. This video's probably already 10 minutes, even though I've broken it up. It's already 10 minutes. I've got a fuck ton of stuff. There's not going to be any films in this. I've got a ton. I've got a load. But they're all bog... Actually, there's going to be one. But the others are generally bog standard. Good stuff. Like, there was a pile of Marvel Blu-rays. Basically, because I wanted to watch them in sort of chronological order, like in sort of story order. You know, it's like an ambition of mine. So I basically want to buy these Blu-rays. Those other stuff, but they're all pretty much bog standard or weird stuff that no one other than me would really give a shit about. So I've left them out. There's other things. These ones I'm going to show you straight away. Yeah, on the first urban hike I did, it was my first little mosey on out to one of the slightly further out computer exchanges. I thought I'd go out that way, and it turned out all right. One charity shop I went in, they had a ton of like original action figures, and here's some. Here's them. This is them. We've got a Hannibal from the A-Team. I don't know if that gun is like original. I'm sure it doesn't really look right. They're all at £1.50, I think. Yeah, about £1.50. And there was another one, but the woman behind the counter broke it. I've got a Manny Faces works. I didn't realise I thought Manny Faces was a villain, but apparently not. And he even punches. Look. He still punches. And they're generally quite tight. And that's the thing with all these old action figures. They often feel loose. We've got, apparently this guy's called a Jitsu. He's called Jitsu. I don't remember him. I remember Fisto. Actually, thinking about it, looking at these old He-Man figures, they were proper rubbish, weren't they? Like really craply. It's like the ideas of them. You know, this guy's called Jitsu. A little bit racist, I reckon. He's got a little chop. But yeah, I mean, like Manny Faces. They're like really crap puns. And there was another one. The one that she broke was Cobra Khan, and it's basically like a cobra. But I took it to the counter. She looked at it and she pulled its head off, and she goes, "Oh, sorry about that. Is this for a child? And you can't give this to a child anymore. You can't give it to a child. Look, because it had it like." I didn't say anything. I was just like quiet. And I went, "Yeah," and then she goes, "I better chuck it away. Should I chuck it away?" And I went, "Yeah," chucks it away. So I watched her like throw it in the bin. I should have said it was for me and I could have had it, but no, I didn't. Pride said that no, I'm not going to admit that it's for me. So she chucked it in the bin. So yeah, those are the two He-Men. There was, like I said, there was going to be another Cobra Khan. But this one was it, and then they had a little bags. This one was in one of them. B.A. Baracus. Again, I don't know if that gun's original. And the bags were about £1.50. The B.A. Baracus came in this one. This is the best one. Two original Star Wars. We've got C-3PO and a Darth Vader. I think they're both from 77. So like, you know. And more Star Wars originals. Ewoks. Not many accessories. And a little, I didn't recognise Wicket without his hat on. Didn't recognise him. I just thought, who's that funny little dude? Turns out it was Wicket. Yeah. But these are keepers. The Star Wars ones are keepers. I'm thinking I'm not going to keep the others because there's no nostalgia with those. More nostalgia with these. I don't feel the need to keep them. I only didn't have much He-Man. I didn't have any A-Team stuff. So yeah, I don't really feel the need to keep hold of them. And there's a bloke. He's got this tiny, quite cool little. It's like a market booth. It's absolutely microscopic. You have to sort of, when you go in there, you can go in, but you have to sort of shimmy sideways like a crab because it's that tight. And I suspect he'll take trade, and he sells the odd game, and there's a few that I probably could just turn it into a straight swap. A few sort of quite cheap PS1 games, but yeah. So that was sort of that encouraged me that this urban hiking thing was a goer, and so I thought, yeah, this is going to turn into something that might be quite fruitful. But in reality, it's the only difference between normal things is that I'm not going on the bus, I'm just walking, and I'm getting exercise. That was the other thing. That was the other motivation, because I can't really run anymore. I used to run, but my ankle's like shit, and so it's basically exercise combined with going around charity shops. One's a necessity. One's one of my favourite things to do, pastimes. So I renamed it urban hiking. yeah, winner. All this stuff is the non-game stuff. Actually, no, this is game stuff. All right. Those are the other, all that non-game stuff, apart from the other Blu-ray. CD. Wasn't that Nintendo Club Nintendo giveaway thing? I thought I'd buy it. Is it just sound effects? I can't remember, but it was in a charity shop and it was about £1 or something. A couple of books. This was £1. What was it? 75. Retro Tech Nostalgia Nerds. I don't watch Nostalgia Nerd, but I thought, yeah, this isn't actually. It's relatively basic, and having looked through it, it's not much I don't already know. But I thought it was worthwhile having. It was basically like an alternative to that retro gamer, like that sort of console handbook thing. One of those. Basically, that's all it is. It's like a console handbook. Computers, consoles, and games. From sort of old to new. From Atari to Xbox. So, yeah, it's decent. You know, it's decent. And I thought for £1.75, I thought it was sort of worth it. This is probably my favourite non-gamey thing. Well, it is games. But this is a totally random out of the blue. It's £1.25. In the Red Cross bookshop that I've got that Mario Choose Your Own Adventure thing last time. This one isn't one of those, but it's game related. It's something I've never seen before. I thought it's generally a bit weird and quite interesting. It's Worlds of Power Ninja Gaiden novel. Worlds of Power. And I thought, well, that's weird. I can't imagine what a Ninja Gaiden novel would be like, but I bet it's shit. It's not very long. It's not much of a novel. It's more of a pamphlet. But oh fuck! Wait there. Bollocks. You might have noticed. Not that the sound quality of my video is ever particularly good. You might have noticed it's even shitter than normal, and that's because I forgot to select my Guitar Hero mic before I started recording. So it's just. I think that I don't even know where the mic is. It's next to the camera. I forgot to select a mic before I started recording, and I thought, oh, I better select it, so at least I have half a video worth of not that bad audio. And when I went to select it, it's plugged into the USB port, but for some reason my Mac decides not to recognise it. Maybe some update has meant that it doesn't support these shitty Guitar Hero mics anymore, which is fucking brilliant. My videos just get better and better anyway, so hopefully this level of sound isn't too rough. I hate this sound. It sounds really tinny. Awful. Anyway, right, I can't remember what it's talking about. Yeah. Apparently these are this is the British version. It's got a price on the back. There's an American series of these. There's about 12 of them. I wonder if they're connected to Nintendo Power. I don't really know. There's 12 of them, but this is a British one because the American ones, I don't know where they came from. They don't have prices on the back, and they come with all this extra stuff like trading cards that sort of, like actually attached on the inside of the book. But this is just a British one because it's got a price on the back. And I think that they only come in as a series of, I think they're a series of 4. Oh shit, I didn't realise. Yeah, there you go, 195. So there's 4 of these. I can't remember what the other ones are, but I thought it was just quite interesting. I think these are, the British ones are less common, not that means anything, not that makes them more collectible, but if you look on eBay, because I thought it'd be quite nice to have a nice set, but if you look on eBay, the American one's a lot more common. So yeah, right, that's all that. I'm going to see if I can fiddle around and work out how to get my mic working, and then I'll move on to all the other stuff. Hopefully this video isn't already massively long. I suspect it is. See you in a bit. Okay, I have to make do with that. I think I might just stop making videos altogether, you know, sporadically as they are. Anyway, right. One and only film. This was something I've had my eye on for a long time. This isn't a film that was ever got a physical release in this country. I think it might have been available on Prime for a while. Maybe, I'm not sure. I've definitely seen it on streaming somewhere. I can't remember where I saw it. But this is an Australian film, and it's if you have been watching my videos for a long time, you might remember that I've got a weird thing for doomsday films, and this is an Australian doomsday film. Basically, films about the end of the world, not just apocalypse films, but like the world ends. I've tried to rationalise it why I enjoy them. Enjoyment's a weird word, strange, but I like watching them. Enjoyment. Anyway, it's a film called These Final Hours. This was on Music Magpie for just under £6, and I've looked at this before, and I would have had to import it, and it would have cost a lot to import. It's not that massively expensive, but anyway, yeah. Obviously, it's an Australian one. And it was on Music Magpie, and it didn't have the. I think you can get them in, like, not as usual, get them in Germany and Italy and France, but never in this country. That happens a lot. But yeah, it's a really good film about a man. Everybody knows that the world's going to end, and this man, rather than spend his last few hours with his girlfriend, he wants to go off to this party where everyone's just having a massive blowout before everything just dies. And she doesn't like it, obviously, but he on the way there he meets this girl who's trying to get back to her parents. I can't remember exactly what happens to her, but he has this dilemma of whether or not to help her get back to her parents because he just can't leave her. But it's a really good film, really good film. But you have to submit to the idea that things might not work out how you would like them to work out purely because of the sort of film it is. But it is really good, and you will have to import it, maybe from Europe. Better if it's from Australia because it will have like English gubbins. But yeah, right. I'm gonna stop this here. I might have one more look at the. I'm sure there's something I'm not doing. It's getting on my tits because in the past all I've had to do is just like plug it into the USB port, and it would come up, and I would just sort of select it in the sort of like the sound input bit. You'd have the internal mic and my what was it? I was thinking VTech or GTech. What was it? I can't remember. GTech's the Hoover people, isn't it? And VTech's the one that makes like little kiddie game consoles. Whatever. Anyway, yeah. And I'd select it, and it'd be better than the internal mic. But anyway, bollocks. I'm pissed off with this mic thing. Anyway, I can't get it to work. I might have to buy a new one. But to be honest, I mean, how long am I gonna really get my money's worth? Am I gonna? I want to get a good mic, obviously. I don't want a shit one. But am I gonna get my money's worth? Making a video every 2 months, probably not. It's like a reason why I don't get a decent, better camera, because I don't care that much. It's like, if I don't care that much, why is anyone watching going to give a shit? But so I know I do care, but not enough to get a better camera and a better mic. I just want to talk about stuff I bought. I was going, oh, look what I bought. That's basically that's my motivation behind making pickups videos, because people in my sort of sphere, my everyday sphere, couldn't give a shit. Anyway, right. Let's go first. I might move that around actually. Slightly a bit out of order. I'll put it all in order. But that's a better order. There you go. Yeah, when I got the action figures, on my very first ever urban hike. In that same shop. Actually, that's the shop where I got the Spyro press kit, and I've got them action figures. It never used to pay out. I've got the Spyro press kit, not really paid out since. I've got the action figures, and they've got these as well. And I thought, actually, that's in the wrong order because that goes with that. Yeah, and so it paid out with the action figures. Oh, it was nice. And then these as well. And I thought, well, it's not done that for a long time. But now it's closed down. It's closed down. Last time I went in there, they said, oh, well, they're not renewing the lease. Shit. Sort of, that was the charity shop. That was my best ever charity shop find, but it's closing down. But anyway, yeah, I think it was the same occasion. I think I saw something in the window as I was leaving and went back in and asked to have a look at it, and she let me have a look. But then she said, "Oh, is that?" It was a game. She goes, "Oh, do you like games?" I went, "Yeah, I like games." And then she goes, "Oh, we've got a big bag out the back." And if anybody ever says that, you think your mind just goes crazy. And it turns out, it wasn't it didn't match my my imagination, but it was decent enough. Basically, lots of Xbox and Xbox One stuff. These are all trading. That's why I've tried to divide up the ones I'm keeping and the ones I'm trading. The ones I picked, I think those were all £1 each. It's Hitman Xbox One Steelbook Edition. So this will be traded. So obviously because I haven't got an Xbox One. Forza 3. I picked out the better ones. Forza 3. This is probably shouldn't have bothered. I think I'll get an extra 60p. GTA 5. And this is the one that was in the window. As I was leaving, I just sort of looked back and then thought, I should go and ask her if I could have a look. And it's a really, really disgusting copy of Mario Kart. The thing is, I've got a copy of Mario Kart to trade, a spare one, but that had a knackered disc, and I thought I'll go and look at the quality of the disc, and if it's if it's decent enough, then I'll have it. It was £3. So they were £1. I think this was £3. And it turns out it's all right. It's good enough, and it means I can get a proper copy that's worth trading. Because to be honest, with that cover, I'm a bit too embarrassed to trade that in. I don't want to trade that in and go, yeah, this was mine. Which is just pretty rank. I'm hoping it's only just water damage. It looks like it is. It's grubby and wet. But actually the inside is fine. So it means I can now get a proper tradable copy. This was just a random. That's the thing. Some of these have been a while, and I've forgotten how much they were. So I've written a little list and a little script. Hopefully, you didn't see anything that I hadn't already shown. I think this was £1 in. Oh, it was. Of course, it was because it's got the price on the back. Yeah, it was £1 in a place called Norwood. It only just started doing DVDs, but I would always go in there hoping, and then they started doing DVDs, and now they started the odd game, and this was just a random one. I thought, might be a keeper, but I've got this on the Xbox, and I don't need another copy, because I'm more likely to play it on the Xbox. So I thought that would be a decent trader, and I can't remember how much the credit's worth, but it was only £1. In the same one, same shop at a different time. So they've actually started doing DVDs and the odd game. They've actually been paying out. Again, they're £1. And these were at the same time. The first one was Tenchu Wrath of Heaven. I've got a feeling I'm going to keep this because the disc isn't perfect. So, and I don't have it, and it's not a bog standard sort of shitty sports game. It's something a bit better than that. So again, £1. £8. So, and I did enjoy. I had the first Tenchu. I've not really played a Tenchu since. I had the first Tenchu on the PS1. But, you know, why not? You know, not got a Tenchu on the PS2. And this one was sort of more of the no-brainer. Yeah, Ikea again for £1. I'm gonna probably should have taken that label off because it's probably gonna piss and rip in it. But anyway, it's all complete. Not bad, Nick. A little bit rough, but yeah. I mean, it's not really one you can pass up when you see like the sort of the. Was there another version of this? Was there a hard case version, like a bog stand version? It's got all the cards and everything included. The only downside is that it's, again, the disc like that one, the disc a little bit rough, so they might not take it, but then it's probably, it's something that will sell quite easily, so maybe they'll take it, because I think that is often in their thinking. If something's a little bit rough, I'm talking about computer exchange, if the disc on something is a little bit rough but resurfaceable, they might just resurface and take it in, because if it's, you know, a decent game, something that's easily sellable. And this, I don't know if that's how it works, but that has happened to me in the past. You know, I've tried to trade something in, and they've looked at the disc and but then thought it was worth it because the game was worth taking. So, and another one, 3 that are just traders. Again, I can't remember where these are from. I think these are all the ones, yeah. I can't remember where they was from, but they would have been about £1, £2 from random charity shops. I mean, not much of this was all bought at the same time. It's just lots of disparate little purchases here and there because generally, you know, things don't work like that anymore. You don't get big bundles of stuff and go, shit. It's just the odd 1 or 2. Wii Sports Resorts, I think this is about £1, something like that. But yeah, I'm not going to keep it. I've never felt the need to keep Wii Sports Resort. I don't have it, but I've got Wii Sports, and that'll do me fine. And the credit's decent. This was I'm sure this was £1. The Simpsons game. I took a bit of a punt on this actually. I wasn't sure because I know the Simpsons game on other consoles is worth having to trade, but turns out this is not bad. Probably £4. I think I paid £1, and it'll probably £3 or £4. I don't know, maybe a bit more. Not sure, but. So it's worth having. I swept out the case because the case of something else I bought that I'm keeping was crap, and this is the crap case. So yeah, should get me some decent credit. This one should be better, but these are dirt cheap. They're just so cheap. You know, you think, oh yeah, it's a first party, relatively recent sort of, Nintendo game. It's clearly going to be good credit or worth whatever, you know. And no, it turns out these are dirt cheap. Wii U games are so cheap at the moment. That's definitely going to be a, you know, it's going to be the new GameCube, isn't it? Eventually, but I mean, does it work like that? Because we all anticipate these things, and you've already got people who are collecting Wii U purely because it might be collectible in the future. I mean, did people do that about the GameCube? I'm not sure they did. You know, GameCube was sort of almost pre-eBay. So the thinking's different. You know, with the Wii U, we're coming from more of a position of knowledge of how things can go. So maybe more people might be collecting Wii U, and so there'll be more, I don't know. Sounds like bullshit, doesn't it? But these are all keepers. These last ones are all keepers. This is an upgrade. I've got this is the sports game. It's a Wii. It's FIFA 15. Was this? I don't think this is the last Wii game. I think I probably would have been SingStar, not SingStar, or Just Dance. But I've got FIFA 15. I don't feel the need to have more than one FIFA on the Wii, so I'm going to trade in FIFA 14. Sorry, 14. And I'll get about £1 for it. And I'll just have the last one purely just for it's nice. I like to have a range of games, not just RPGs on all of my systems or RPGs, you know. So I'll have FIFA, and that was £1. This one This was £1 again. Sengoku Basara Samurai Heroes. This is basically what's it called? Samurai Warriors. Dynasty Warriors. Sort of that type of game. So a bit of a hack and slasher. You know, that are good for about 5 minutes, and then you get really bored. But I thought I'd give it a go. Not one I've played. I have read that it does basically turn out like that. You know, you go, yeah, this is good, and then you go, oh, this is a bit repetitive. But yeah. The disc is a bit yellow. It's a bit manky. I'm gonna have to have a go at that with some, don't know, a bit of a disc polish. That was it. That's what I forgot to show you. I thought, actually no, because this video is probably already really long. I've bought some more plastic polish. Car polish basically to try and buff discs. I've had a bit of a go, hasn't quite worked out yet. I'm contemplating getting this thing called a mini buffer. It's basically for buffing your car, mini polisher, and it looks like a cordless drill. It's got a flat bit on the front. You can get like attachments and sponges for it, and I've seen there are videos all over YouTube of people using them to buff discs, and I thought, it's cheaper than buying a proper dedicated disc polisher. Why did I get onto that? This is one of my favourite charity shop purchase. Actually, no, it's not. That's a lie. No, it is. No, it is. Because this is nice out of the blue. And one that was on my list. Dead Space Extraction. Only £1 randomly in a branch of cancer research that's been paying out at the moment. Recently, oddly, I had a rejig, and since then, actually, there's something coming up that's from there. I had a rejig, and since then they've been paying out, you know, some decent stuff. And this was randomly on its own on the shelf. Dead Space Extraction for £1. Yeah, this is a keeper because light gun games is a light gun game, isn't it? Yeah, light gun games are probably where the Wii does really well, and I would like. I mean, you've got multiple Resident Evil games. You've got House of the Dead, Overkill, and 2 and 3. Is it 2 and 3? 1 and 2. But anyway, yeah. And a whole load of other games that are light gun games or could be played as light gun games, like FPSs and things like that. And the Wii can just become this powerhouse for that sort of game, and I like them. I like those games. And this was a decent first-party title. Randomly. Has anyone noticed that British Heart Foundation, I think they send most of their good stuff to their eBay account, because their eBay account always has good stuff, which means most British Heart Foundations near me rarely have anything worth having. This is the first time in ages that British Heart Foundation had something worth having, and it was just a random copy of Super Mario Bros. And the disc is a little bit short, but it should be alright. It's a keeper, because I've had this a few times and thought, you know, no, I'm gonna sort of like I want the credit more, but I think on this occasion I'm just going to keep hold of it. And then to add to that, the little disc only copy that's actually in better nick. So I can put this with that, and I'll have a proper one. And I'll have a spare disc that probably might need resurfacing, but yeah, both £2. Getting a bit more retro now. Hopefully this isn't going on for too long. A bit more retro now. 2 relatively expensive PS1 games from charity shops, all charity shop stuff. Relatively expensive. But then I don't subscribe to the idea that charity shops should always be dirt cheap, and I'm not going to buy something because it's more expensive than bog standard charity shop prices. You know, I've never subscribed to that idea. There are people who think, oh, I get it for free, so it should be peanuts. I'm not going to pass something up because if it's a good price purely because it's slightly more than a sort of a bog standard charity shop price. And this is, if these were this price in a game shop, they'd probably be, you know, decently priced. Particularly one of them. I'll show you. I won't. This won't turn into a rant. PS1 games. Railway Tycoon 2. In really nice nick. One of the reasons I got this is because I've got a game that needs one of these cases, and this is in really nice nick. See, it's one of the branded ones. You can get ones that look like this that aren't branded. Actually, no, you can't, because they wouldn't have that, would they? But the similar ones. There are ones that don't have the hologram, that don't have that either. But anyway, yeah, Railway Tycoon for $3.99. See, like, I have multiple reasons for wanting this. It's not a game I've got. There's that, and also it's a good quality case, so I can justify it. So that's not really a style of game I really have on my PS1. So, like I said, I like to give a range of games, so why not? And fuck it, it's charity. I'm not going to complain. And this one is probably more my type of game. Carmageddon. I don't think this is dirt cheap. Most of these games tend to start going up in price. Like all those the Twisted Metals and the Vigilante 8s, they start getting a bit of a, get a bit expensive. Their prices start going up. I don't think Carmageddon really has, but this was again same price at the same time, $3.99. So yeah, why not? Not one I've got. One I wouldn't mind playing. One I'm very happy to put into my collection. So I'm very happy to pay $3.99 for it. I mean, seriously, would anyone turn down Carmageddon for $3.99 purely because it wasn't 50p from a charity shop? I mean, that's a bit foolish, really, in my opinion. But this wasn't going to turn into a rant, was it? Last bit of charity shop stuff. Again, this is one of my fruits of my urban hiking. Went a bit further afield. It went into a charity shop I've sort of like been in a lot in the past, and it used to pay out, then it stopped, and it hadn't paid out for ages. And I was as literally as I was going in, I was thinking to myself, this one's not paid out in ages. This just cross my fingers that it's actually going to have something worth having. And lo and behold, looked on the DVD shelf, and right next to the DVDs was actual retro stuff. I mean, don't get your hopes up. This isn't top-notch stuff. This isn't like some wow, mind-blowing thing, but it's definitely something that I'm happy to have, and I can justify owning both of them. First one's Premier Manager. See what I mean? Yeah. Premier Manager for £2.50. £2.50 for a Mega Drive game in a charity shop. I know it's a sports game, but this was basically my Christmas of '95. Christmas 95. I was at Leeds University. I was basically living in a hovel, and it's really shitty, grubby university halls of residence. And my mum came to visit me sometime before Christmas. I've told this story before, because she bought me my Christmas present, which was this and Phantasy Star 4. And it was before Christmas, and she felt a bit sorry for me because I was living in this rough old halls of residence, and she let me keep Phantasy Star 4 and this so that I could play them. And then I'd give them back to her, and then she'd pretend to give me them for Christmas. So, yeah. And so this is a game. Yeah, it is this game. I don't think I'm confusing it with anything else. I don't think there are really many other manager games on the Mega Drive, but I remember buying this because I loved Football Masters that much, and I thought it would compare to Football Masters. I thought I was going to anticipate that happening again. It's the screen goes black. Yeah, it's not as good as Football Masters, but then console manager games never are. You know, when I eventually played a proper one on the PC manager game, it was Championship Manager 2000, 2001. That blew my mind. Nothing really compares since, and they sort of pale. But there's still nostalgia with this particular game. I think it's this one that where if you turn up the speed of the match day commentary, the console can't handle it and it crashes a lot. I think that's one. That's definitely an experience I've had before. I've had manager games on the SNES. I had a manager game on my Amstrad. I had manager games on PS1, Xbox. None of them compared to the PC ones, but still, they still had their own appeal. The appeal for me is based around the just huge player roster, you know, this big database. And the other one, at the same time as two of them, like I said, it's a Super Kickoff for £2.50. This is a bit rougher. Hasn't got a hanging tab, like I said before. Who uses a hanging tab? Psychopaths and perverts. And it's all there. And it's not bad, Nick. You know, nothing really, not minty. But so yeah, it's sort of a nice little, not bad. You know, nice to see anything retro. And I had Super Kickoff on the SNES and played it a lot. And I was wondering how this compares. I played that a lot. I played it so that I created all my own different teams. I've created loads of different teams with themes. I think I created a team with supermodels, and being at the time, I think I was, late teens. I had a team. I definitely remember having a team. I had multiple teams. I would just create players. I had multiple teams, and one of them was definitely a team of ladies with big tits. One of them was the girl from 2 Unlimited. And thinking back about it, I don't think her tits are that big. I'm sorry if this is ridiculous, this is childish, but this is me as a kid. Basically, I was probably pretty young for my age anyway. You know, I didn't know the consequences of my actions, but yeah. But no, anyway, that's things. I was a little. Anyway, I'll move on. This is obviously a long video. It's obviously I'm basically holding my hands up. I don't know how long it is because I've been chopping and changing, but obviously it's a long video, right? Bollocks. 2 random computer exchange purchases. I can't remember why I got these. I think I was just a bit pissed off. I think my football team had lost, so I can't remember. But a game that when I first wrote up my list for my PS2, when I first got a PS2, I looked up online articles, and for hidden gems, this was on a Eurogamer hidden gem list, and having bought it and played it, it looks very much like a PS1 game. It looks a bit rough now. This is aged, but it's still on my list, and it was only 50p, and it's Sky Odyssey. I thought this could be Pilot Wings, like the PS1's version of Pilot Wings. It ain't the PS1's version of Pilot Wings. But I'm not sure. Is there there is a vague narrative, but it's something I've always wanted to try, purely because of it being recommended by Eurogamer, and it sort of piqued my interest. I mean, it looks awful. But I thought that makes it interesting. Why did they like it? And this is another recommendation from Metal Jesus Rocks with his hidden gems. Growmounds by From Software. It's From Software. Yeah, this one looks more arcadey. I think more of an arcadey mech game. Mech games, you know, in theory, are something I should really love, but the really proper technical ones, I'll get bamboozled. And I'm hoping this is more of an arcadey one, because in theory, they're games I should love. So I'm hoping. I vaguely remember him saying it was more of an arcadey one, but right. Yeah, I've got my PS5. I've got one game that I showed you in the last video. I've bought a few recently. I still haven't got any PS5 games. These are all PS4 games, but I've been making a list, compiling a list. It's getting a bit dark again. I'm just going to see if I can shed some more light on the subject. Didn't have to, just did it on its own speed. Anyway, don't go back. Don't go dark again. Anyway, yeah, I've got PS4 games. Still can't quite see the benefit of having a PS5 yet. It doesn't seem to have differentiated itself much from the PS4. I know Eddie Rollercore X-Core said that. I tend to agree with him. That seems slightly unnecessary at the moment. There's not much to warrant this brand new powerful console, and ambitions are very low when it comes to software for it. Lots of retro-inspired rehashes, remakes, stuff like that. Stuff that I would not imagine pushes something as powerful as the PS5 at all. But anyway, so most of what I've got so far, all of what I've got so far, is PS4 games. And these are, you know what I'm saying, I'm not discounting buying these because they're all games I want to pay, but they're all sort of variations on the theme. They don't look like they would push either console very much. The first one's Blasphemous. This was cheap on. This one looks good. Multiple. I mean, how many Metroidvanias now? How long is that? Basically, because of how high regard Symphony of the Night is held by people. That the people who make games have thought, oh no, we know how to sell lots of games. Let's make one based on a game that everybody loves or would love if they could afford it. This seems where the thinking is. I might be wrong, probably wrong. I'm often wrong. But, you know, they're games I like to play, but I'm not making a dig. But it's just, again, it feels like sort of a lack of ambition. But I like the theme. I like the sort of the atmosphere of this one. It's really bleak, dark, and just, you know, it looks good. I've not played it, obviously. Now this one looks different. This one I'm sort of really like excited by. Star Renegades. I like that really sort of pixelated look. It's obviously it's got an eye on its motor sort of it's I can't fucking remember the word. It understands where it's getting its inspiration from. That's the right word, isn't it? It's very pixelated, like Octopath Traveler. That sort of, you know, it has a lot of that about it. But this is roguelite, I think people refer to it as. It's procedurally generated locations. Since when did randomly generated become procedurally generated? I don't know, but it looks really good. It's sort of stunning, and it got a good write-up from my research, and I just like the look of it, and it was something a little bit different for the PS5 at least, because it's, you know, and it was cheap. I think it can go not massive amount, about 20 quid in computer exchange. I think that was I can't remember how much that was. Let me just consult my list. £13.98. It came down. That was it. It was coming down for ages, and then it went back up a bit, and I thought, oh shit, it's going to go back up again. So I think I bought it purely because before it went up too much. And how much was Blasphemous? Blasphemous was a tenner. You know, so see, there's not much of a debate there, is there? And this one, lots of people have got this, and this was more of a no-brainer. It doesn't really stray much from that theme of having no ambition, but still, it's something I really wanted to play. I've played one that's sort of in this series. It's Pocky Rocky. It's not open. I'm talking about the PS2 game of current. It's Heavenly Creatures, Heavenly Guardians in America. I can't remember what it's called in this country. Is that part of this series? I don't know. Anyway, this does look really good, even though it has very little ambition or creativity. It knows what people who play video games want to play, and it gives them what they want. I would like it if games companies gave me something that I didn't know I wanted, But these would tide me over, and until someone gives me something I didn't know I wanted. Actually, no, you don't know. You don't want something you didn't know you wanted, because that's basically that's that old adage of George Bernard Shaw. This is one of my favourite quotes. It's one of the only ones I've ever memorised. Is it fashion is nothing but an induced epidemic. People give you things you didn't know you wanted. Well, they tell you what you want. I don't know. Anyway, bollocks. Right. Using some computer exchange credit, game I've been looking at for ages, and always a little bit rough. This was in the local branch, and I went to have a look at it, and it was in really nice nick. Apart from the disc, there's a little bit of sun fading on the spine, but that's fine. The disc, the guy in there, he let me have a look at it, and the disc had some ring scratches on it, and he quite kindly put it through the machine, and it came up nicely. I think it's slightly cloudy, but nothing too bad. And it's Mortal Kombat 3. And finally, before a big purchase, it's not that big. It was a charity shop find. A PS1 game. It's a game that has gone up in price. The PAL version's gone up in price, and it's not a price I'm willing to pay, because it's a shooter, and I think it's not one of the best shooters. Even though I do think people often kid themselves that all shooters are great, and they look past the flaws. And I think this isn't the best looker. It's a bit sort of rough around the edges, and I think people tend to go, "No, that's brilliant. It's just purely because it's a shooter." That's often a theme. Just because a game is a certain type of game, and people like that certain type of games, they'll look beyond their taste. They won't look beyond their taste. Oh no, fuck it. It's Philosoma. I've got the Japanese version because the PAL version's getting too expensive. Hello. And how much was this? 13 quid. I think there was I wouldn't pay much more than that, and I can play it, and it's a shooter, so the dialogue isn't really relevant. I think it came up 15 quid, and then I put it on my watch list, and the seller sent me an offer, and I countered, and then they countered, and it about 13 quid, and it's really nice nick. It's got, would it have come with a spine card? I don't know, but it's got this in it, these stickers in it, and it's got a receipt from a game shop in it. Someone paid 194 yen. Did they? No, they didn't. That's change. They paid 4,806 yen for it. The Hypermedia shop in, I have no idea where, but it's a really nice nick. And this was a UK seller, so I can't complain about that. And it's something about shooters that have digitised explosions I don't like, and this has digitised. I think it has digitised explosions. It has lots of CGI. CGI? No. Anyway, like full motion video, FMV. Yeah. And I think it sets a record for the word Roger being said in a video game ever. By no other video game has said the word Roger as much as that. But it was a shooter, and I wasn't prepared to pay the PAL price. But, right. on to the last thing. Hopefully this will only take a couple of minutes, so I'm going to cut it here, and then move some stuff around, and then get back to you. Yeah, hopefully this won't take too long. Again, on one of my urban hikes, really early on, one of the first places I went into, I went in, didn't see anything. On my way out, looked down, there's a big tub. Pardon me. Big tub of stuff, basically magazines, and they were 4 for £1, and I counted them all out, and there were 42. And I took them to the counter in a big tub, and I said, "Can I have all of these, please?" And the woman basically said, "Yeah, you can have them for a tenner." Basically, I got 2 for free. And so I paid £10 for 42 magazines, and they are basically 42 retro gamer magazines. And I've got 42 of them to look through and just sort of bask in the nostalgia. And yeah, 42 of them. And they were actually they came with. Because I looked through them, they came with some Buddhism magazines, and I didn't really want the Buddhism magazines, but I took them to the counter, and the manager came out, and she started helping me. She got me an Ikea bag to carry them with, and she'd already put the Buddhism magazines into the bag before I could say I don't want them. So I had to carry around about 10 Buddhism magazines for the rest of the day, on top of all these 42 retro gamers. There was this came with it as well. Don't know what that is. Probably something. And some stickers, and a SNK mini companion, and just a fuck ton. I don't know how many. It's just a ton of yellow ones. I don't know how you tell when they were released, because I've looked. I'm guessing it's because my eyes aren't good enough and they're on the spine somewhere. But I don't know at what point these were released. So I don't know which ones I've got, which issues I've got, I don't know. But if anybody can tell me how I know sort of what issues they are, can you let me know? So yeah, I've got a ton of retro gamers, and that's the last thing I'm going to show you. So I'm going to cut it off here because this video is clearly massively long already. And but then you're used to that, like I said. So, and I appreciate anybody sitting through this right to the end. And some diamond geezers and ladies. Thanks for sitting through it. So, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna have some lunch. I'm sure there was other things I wanted to talk about, but I'm not gonna, because this is a long video. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Hopefully, I'll sort out my sound for my next video, because I fucking hate the tinniness is awful. The tinniness from this mic is just shite. Even when you sort of fiddle around with it on the sound adjustments, it makes no difference whatsoever. So anyway, enough bitching. I'm off. See you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.